Dear students, please welcome to the YouTube channel Mathematics Student Helper. In present video, our discussion is about sequence in real number. This is part 5. All other parts are also available in my channel. Link of that videos are given in description box. In the present video, we discuss some useful limits, such as at first I discuss about limit of r to the power n when mod of r is less than 1, that is when r lies between -1 to +1 open interval, then limit of r to the power n will be 0, and then limit of a to the power n equal to 1 if a is positive. You can remember in that way that suppose here you imagine if n tends to infinite, then 1 by n must tends to 0, therefore a to the power 1 by n tends to a to the power 0, that is 1. Okay, you can remember in that process, but I prove it in general form. And third is limit of n to the power 1 by n equal to 1, and at last I prove actually generalize of that theorem, a to the power x by n. If limit x n equal to 0 and a is positive, then limit a to the power x n must be 1. Okay, here I take a particular sequence which is x 1 by n. So here is also limit of 1 by n equal to 0. Okay, but here I consider every sequence converging to 0, but after proving that theorem I give a note where limit of x n is arbitrary, not only 0, then limit will be a to the power l if limit of x n equal to l. Okay, here I prove both the theorems. Actually by for proving that limit you have to use the result, so I prove it at first and then that. Okay, let's go. I hope that you understand my video. Please see whole the video, not skipping. I hope that you can understand my video. If you understand my video after watching, then please like the video and share it with your friends. If the channel is not till subscribed, please subscribe it and say your friends to subscribe. Anyway, let's go. At first I prove a lemma. Actually I not prove, actually lemma means it is a statement which is I not prove it, but I use the result. You can verify it. And theorem means this is also a statement, but you have to prove the statement. Okay, but in lemma you have not prove the lemma. However, the lemma is that if n is in z, that is if n is a integer, positive or negative or 0, and a is a real number such that n is greater than a, then n greater than or equal to k, where k is box a plus 1. Actually I use that result when I prove limits of a sequence in part 1 or part 2. Okay, here box of a means being the greatest integer less than or equal to a. Okay, when you see n is greater than a, then you can write n greater than or equal to k, where k is box a plus 1. For example, just I verify above lemma. In first example we consider a equal to 15.7, then n greater than means you see that here a is 15.7 and n is an integer. Since n is greater than 15.7, then n starts from 16, that is you can conclude n is greater than or equal to 16. Okay, that is here, this is k, therefore k is 16. Now I have to write k in that form. You see that box of a means 15 box of 15.7. okay, box of a means greatest integer less than or equal to a. So to find 15.7 you have to consider all the integers which are less than or equal to 15.7. that is the integers which are less than 15.7 or equal to 15.7 are 15, 14, 13, 12, 11 dot 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 in left hand side, minus 12, minus 13, minus 100, minus 200 etc. So among all the integers the 15 is largest, therefore here box a is 15. So 16 can be written as 15 plus a, that is box a plus 1. We consider that as k. Now I give another example. When you take a equal to minus 15.7, then n greater than a means, suppose we consider a real line. This is real line, here this is 0, and therefore negative integers will be left hand side of 0, that is in that portion and positive integers will be in that portion. Suppose here this is minus 15 and this is minus 16. Okay, so minus 15.7 must be in that portion. Okay, this is minus 15.7. Now n greater than a, that is n greater than minus 15.7. What will be n? Since n is integer and n is greater than minus 15.7, that is n will be minus 15, minus 14, minus 13, dot dot 0, 1, 2, 3, dot dot, all positive integers. Okay, n greater than 15.7 means n starts from minus 15, that is n greater than or equal to minus 15. Now what is box A? Box A means box of minus 15.7. This is actually being greatest integer less than or equal to a. Therefore you have to consider all the integers less than or equal to minus 15.7. Therefore all the integers less than or equal to minus 15.7 are, at first this is minus 16, they are minus 17, minus 18, minus 19 and so on. Among all the integers minus 16 is largest. Okay, so minus 15 can be written as minus 16 plus 1. Okay, minus 16 is box A, therefore minus 15 equal to minus 16 plus A, that is box of A plus 1. Therefore this is K. Okay, now I give another example. Suppose A equal to 15, then n greater than A means n is greater than 15. Greater than 15 means it starts from 16, therefore n is equal greater than or equal to 16. Again, box of 15 means you have to consider all the integers less than or equal to 15, and then you have to choose the largest integers among that integers. However, here integers less than or equal to 15 are 15, 14, 13, 12. Among all the integers, the largest integer is 15. So here box A equal to 15. Therefore 16 can be written as 15 plus 1, that is box A plus 1, and this is K. And last I give another example for verification. A is E, you know that value of E is 2.7 something. So n greater than A means n greater than 2.7 something, that is n starts from 3, that is n greater than or equal to 3. Again, if you calculate box of A, that is box of 2.7 something, this will be 2. Therefore here 3 can be written as 2 plus 1, that is 2 means box E, or box A, that is box A plus 1, and therefore this is K. Okay. However, when you see n greater than A, then you can write n greater than or equal to K, where K equal to box of that plus 1. Okay. Actually, in the definition of limit, there I define the limit when there is natural number K such that something n greater than or equal to K. In some books, the author mentions this is a strictly greater than K. So in there you can use K is only box A, because suppose here you see that suppose n greater than or equal to here 16. If you write n greater than 16, you can write also n greater than 16. However, now I give some useful limits. Some useful limits are there. At first, I find the limit of r to the power n equal to 0 when mod of r less than 1. Okay, let's go and prove. The question is that show that limit of r to the n equal to 0 if mod r less than 1. Solution: given sequence is r to the power n, that is r square dot dot. Suppose if you take r equal to plus half, the sequence will be half, 1 by 4, 1 by 8, 1 by 16 dot dot. If you take r equal to minus half, then the sequence will be minus half, plus 1 by 4, minus 1 by 8, plus 1 by 16 dot dot. Okay. Case 1, you consider r equal to 0. Since r lies between minus 1 to plus 1, so r can be 0. At first I separate 0. So in case 1 I discuss about r when r equal to 0. You see that if you put r equal to 0 here, then the sequence will be 0, 0 square, 0 cube, etc. That is 0, 0, 0. This is a constant sequence. Then the sequence is 0, 0, 0 dot dot, which is a constant sequence converging to 0. Okay. So in that case, the limit of the sequence, that is limit of r to the power n, must be 0. Okay. Now we consider all r lies such that mod of r less than 1, but r is not equal to 0. Case 2, here r is non-zero but mod r less than 1. Since mod r less than 1, therefore 1 by r must be greater than 1. So 1 by mod r must be 1 plus something, some positive quantity. Suppose 1 by mod r equal to 1 plus a, where a is a positive real number. Now r to the power n minus 0. Actually we have to find we have to show that limit of r to the power n equal to 0, that is we have to show that mod of r to the power n minus 0 less than epsilon for all epsilon and n greater or equal to k. Okay, for that purpose we calculate mod of r to the power n minus 0. This is equal to mod of r to the power n, and this means you can write it mod of r whole to the power n. Here you see that here mod of r means 1 by 1 plus a, so there this will be 1 by 1 plus a whole to the power n. Okay, for all n belongs to natural number. Now I use the binomial rule for 1 plus a whole to the power n. You know the formula. If you break that, this will be 1 plus n a plus n into actually nc 2 a square plus dot dot up to nc n a to the power n. Okay, this is not infinite series, this is finite series. Last term is a to the power n. This must be greater than na, because you show that there are many positive terms excluding na. So you add actually 1, that element, something a cube, all the elements with n plus a. So whole the expression must be greater than to na. Okay, therefore 1 plus a whole to the power n is greater than na, that is 1 by 1 plus a whole to the power n is less than 1 by na. Now you see that here mod of r to the power n minus 0 is that. This is 1 by, since this is less than 1 by na, so you can write this expression as less than 1 by n. I take it the equation 1. Let epsilon be positive real number, this is arbitrary. Then from 1 r to the power n, this is less than na, and this will be less than epsilon if n is greater than 1 by a epsilon. Just I take n in right hand side and epsilon in the denominator, therefore n greater than 1 by na. Okay, again you know that if n greater than n, then n greater or equal to k when k equal to box a plus 1. So you can write that is if n greater than or equal to k, where k means box of that quantity plus 1. So you show that for every epsilon there exists natural number k such that mod of r to the power n minus 0 less than epsilon. Thus for every positive epsilon there exists a natural number k such that mod of r to the power 0 minus mod of r to the power n minus 0 less than epsilon for all n greater or equal to k. So from the definition of limit, therefore from the definition of limit of sequence we can write limit of r to the power n equal to 0. So that you see that when r equal to 0 the limit is 0, and when r is non-zero their limit is 0. So combining case 1 and case 2 we can conclude that limit of r to the power n equal to 0 if mod r less than 1. Okay, I hope that you understand the theorem. Now I discuss some conclusion about the sequence. We see that limit of r to the power n equal to 0 when mod of r less than 1, but what happens if mod r is not less than 1, that is when mod r is greater than or equal to 1. What happens if mod r is greater than or equal to 1? We discuss both cases. At first we consider two cases. In case 1 we consider mod of r is equal to 1, and in case 2 we consider mod r is greater than 1. Now let us go in case 1. Here case 1 we consider mod r is less than mod r equal to 1. Mod r equal to 1 means r equal to either 1 or minus 1. Now we break case 1 into sub cases. In sub case 1 we consider r is equal to 1. So if r equal to 1, then sequence will be 1 1 1, because r square r cube, so all the elements will be 1. That is, this is a constant sequence and it converges to 1, converging to 1. So in that case limit of r to the power n equal to 1. However, we consider case 2 where mod of r is 1, where you consider r as minus 1. So when you take r is minus 1, then the sequence was r square r cube. So this will be minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. Okay, the sequence is minus 1 plus 1 minus 1 plus 1. This is actually oscillating sequence, because in third term, first term, fifth term all are equals, and second, fourth, sixth all the terms are equal. These are oscillates between minus 1 to plus 1, minus 1 to plus 1. Okay, this is the sequence oscillates finitely, therefore the sequence is not convergent. So in that case limit r to the power n does not exist. Okay, now I will go in case 2 where we consider mod r is equal to 1, but in case 2 we consider mod r is strictly greater than 1. Okay, mod r strictly greater than 1 means is either is greater than 1 or r is less than minus 1. In sub case 1 we consider r as greater than 1. Okay, when r is greater than 1, the sequence is mod on increasing and unbounded above. Okay, suppose you consider r equal to 2, therefore 2 4 8, this is increase and it is unbounded above, so it is divergent sequence. I will later discuss about divergent sequence and mod on increasing, mod on decreasing sequence. However, when a sequence is unbounded above and mod on increasing, it is divergent, diverge to plus infinite. So in that case the limit is does not exist. Now we consider when r is less than -1. Here you see that in that case the sequence is unbounded above, but in that case but it is bounded below. The sequence is unbounded above but bounded below, so this is diverge infinite. But when r is -1, then it is not unbounded above, sorry, it is unbounded above as well as unbounded below, so it is not divergent. Actually some author mention it is a divergent, but actually it oscillates, it has infinite oscillation. Okay, in this case the sequence is unbounded above and unbounded below, and therefore the sequence has infinite oscillation. Okay, so in that case the limit also does not exist. So our conclusion is that when mod r is less than 1, the sequence is 0. When mod r when r equal to 1, the sequence is converging to 1. When r is -1, this oscillates finitely. When r is greater than 1, it is diverged to infinite, and when r is less than -1, it oscillates infinitely, that is it has infinite oscillation. Okay, I hope that you understand the limit. Now I will give second limit. This is limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 0 if a is greater than 0. So that limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 1 if a is positive. Now you give the solution. Given sequence is this is, that is if you put n equal to 1, this will be a. If you put n equal to 2, this will be square root of a. If you put n equal to 3, square cube root of 3, that is the sequence is a is root a, cube root of a, 4 root of a, and so on. Okay, in case 1 we consider a as 1. When you take a as 1, then the sequence will be here. If you put a equal to 1, this all the elements will be 1. Then the sequence is 1 1 1 1, which is a constant sequence converging to 1. So in that case limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Here a is greater than 0. In case 2 we consider a is greater than 1. So remaining case, that is in case 3, we will discuss when a is positive but a is not in case 1, case 2, that is a is not greater than 1, not greater than 1 and not equal to 1, that is a is positive but a is less than 1, which is discussed in case 3. Now I discuss about case 2 when a is positive, then a to the power 1 by n is also 1. Sorry, here I consider a is greater than 1, strictly greater than 1. However, then a to the power 1 by n must be positive. Okay, now consider a to the power 1 by n equal to 1 plus something. Here you consider xn. Actually in previous problem here you consider as a, because this was 1 by this was mod r, or 1 by mod r equal to 1 plus something. 1 by mod r is not depending on n, but here a to the power n depends on n because this is n. So we consider this is as function of n, that is sequence. Okay, where xn is greater than 0 for all n belongs to n. Now a to the power 1 by n equal to 1 plus xn. This means a equal to 1 plus xn whole to the power n. Now I use the binomial formula. This is that. In previous problem actually we consider the term na. Okay, but here we consider the terms 1 plus na, that is 1 plus nx. 1 plus nx must be greater than all the sums. Here actually last term will be xn to the power n. This is not a infinite series. However, a must be a greater, therefore this term will be whole terms must be greater than to 1 plus nxn. Okay, because here remaining that terms there are many positive terms. So total result must be greater than to 1 plus nx. So a greater than 1 plus nx implies that xn less than a minus 1 by n. Just I take 1 in left hand side, therefore a minus 1 will be nxn, therefore a minus 1 by n greater than xn, that is xn less than a minus 1 by n. Okay, you see that here a n equal to a to the power 1 by n minus 1. Since a to the power 1 by n minus 1 is xn, which is positive, therefore a to the power 1 by n minus 1 equal to mod of a to the power 1 by n minus 1. However, here I write a to the power, here xn is a to the power 1 by n minus 1, therefore a to the power 1 by n minus 1 less than that for all n belongs to epsilon. Now our target is to prove that limit of a to the power n equal to 1. For that purpose we have to show that mod of that less than epsilon and dot dot. For that purpose let epsilon be arbitrary. Then from 1 we can write this is less than that. Actually, since this is positive quantity, it is equal to its mod. Okay, therefore mod of a n minus 1 equal to mod of a to the power 1 by n minus 1, and this is less than a minus 1 by epsilon. Okay, now this will be less than epsilon if n is greater than a minus 1 by epsilon. Just I write down this expression in another way. Here is something is less than epsilon, but in that case we take n is here and epsilon is here. So a minus 1 by epsilon will be less than n, that is n greater than a minus 1 by epsilon. Okay. That is if n greater than or equal to k. So you have to take k as mod of that quantity plus 1, where k equal to box of a minus 1 by epsilon plus 1. So thus we see that for every epsilon, mod of a to the power 1 by n minus 1 is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k, where k is that. Thus for every epsilon greater 0 there exists a natural number case such that mod of a to the power 1 by n minus 1 less than epsilon for all n greater or equal to k. So from the definition of limit of a sequence we can write limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Okay, I hope that you understand this case also. Now in case 3 we consider a as a positive real number, but it is less than 1, because in case 1 we consider a equal to 1 and in case 2 we consider a is greater than 1. So the remaining cases, that is when a lies between open interval 0 1, we consider it at case 3. Okay. Let b equal to 1 by a. Since a is positive, therefore b is positive and b is greater than 1. Here a is less than 1, therefore its reciprocal, that is b must be greater than 1. Okay. So you see that in previous problem you see that when a is greater than 1, then limit of that portion will be 1. So since here is b greater than 1, therefore b to the power 1 by is also 1. Okay. Then by case 2, limit of b to the power 1 by n equal to 1. But I have to prove that limit of a to the power 1 by n. Okay. Now here you put a equal to 1 by a. So this will be limit of 1 by b whole to the power n. This means limit of 1 by b to the power 1 by n. That is 1 by limit of b to the power 1 by n. Okay. Again limit of b to the power 1 by n means 1, that is 1 by 1, that is 1. So in that case also limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 1. So combining all the three cases we get limit a to the power 1 by n equal to 1 if a is positive. Okay. I hope that you understand the theorem. In last theorem I prove it in general way, that is where we consider the sequence, all the arbitrary sequence converging to 0, the result will be same. Okay. Now we will go in third problem, which states that limit of n to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Problem is that, so that limit of n to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Solution. Given that the sequence is n to the power 1 by n, just if you put n equal to 1, this will be 1. If you put n equal to 2, this will be 2 to the power half, that is square root of 2. If you put 3, this will be 3 to the power 1 by 3, that is cube root of 3, and so on. That is 1 square root of 2, cube root of 3, square root of 4, etc. Okay. We have n to the power 1 by is greater than 1 when n is greater than 1. You see that all the terms excepting first term are greater than 1. Okay. So excepting first term, all the terms are positive, are greater than 1. Actually you have to check the convergence of the sequence, so you can neglect finite number of terms, then the convergence or divergence will be remains unchanged of the sequence. Let n to the power 1 by is 1 plus something. As previous problem we take is 1 plus xn, here xn is positive real number, that is xn is a sequence of positive real number, or xn is greater than 0. Therefore now n equal to 1 plus xn whole to the power n. Okay. If you take the binomial expression of that term, this will be okay. In first problem you see that we consider this term only. In second problem we consider first term and second term, but in that problem we consider only third term. Okay. If we take this, then we get the result. For that purpose we get the consider the third term. So as for previous problem, this term will be greater than the sum of all terms. So you can write n is greater than that. N is greater than n minus 1 by factorial 2 for all n greater than 1. You can cancel n both side, therefore n minus 1 greater than n minus 1 by 2 factorial xn square, that is xn square is less than, just 2 factorial means 2, so therefore there will be 2 by n minus 1. Okay, xn square less than 2 by n minus 1. Since xn positive, if you take square root, then xn must be less than square of whole terms for all n greater than 1. Okay, again xn means, you have to see that xn means n to the power 1 by n minus 1. So here write xn equal to x to the power n to the power 1 by n minus 1. Just I take mod, because here you see that n to the power 1 by n minus 1, that is xn is positive, so you can take mod of n to the power n minus 1. Okay, because mod of n to the power 1 minus n to the power 1 by n minus 1 equal to n to the power 1 by n minus 1. Actually our target is to prove limit of n to the power n is 1. For that purpose we consider n to the power 1 by n minus 1. Actually we have to prove this is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. Okay, now let epsilon be arbitrary. So mod of that is, now we have that, now this will be less than epsilon if, just simplify that and express n in other terms, that is n as function of epsilon. For that purpose at first we take square. So where if you take square, this will be 2 by n minus 1 less than epsilon square, 2 by n minus 1 less than epsilon square, that is n minus 1 epsilon, n minus 1 must be greater than 2 by epsilon square, that is n greater than 1 plus 2 by epsilon square. So if you take n greater than or equal to k, then k must be box of whole portion plus 1, that plus 1. Thus we show that for all every epsilon greater 0 there exists k belongs to n such that mod of n to the power 1 by n minus 1 is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. Actually we neglect at first the first term, but here you show that k is minimum greater than or minimum 2, so you can take first term also. Okay, however you see that for every epsilon there exists a natural number k such that mod of xn minus l less than epsilon, so limit of xn equal to l, that is limit of n to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Therefore from the definition of limit of a sequence, limit of n to the power 1 by n equal to 1. Okay, I hope that you understand this problem also. Now I will give the last problem. The statement is that if limit of xn equal to 0 and a is a positive quantity, the limit of a to the power xn must be 1. Just you can remember it in that process, that since xn tends to 0, therefore limit of a to the power xn tends to a to the power 0, that is 1. Okay, problem, this is the problem. Actually after proving the limit, I give the theorem in general form, that is when xn, limit of xn is l, then what happens, this limit will be a to the power l. Just I also prove it. However in present I prove that formula. Since a is positive, limit of a to the power 1 by n equal to 1, which is proved in second problem. Again since a is positive, 1 by a is also positive, that is a to the power minus n minus 1 is also positive. So a to the power minus 1 whole to the power 1 by n, that is a to the power minus 1 by n also converts to 1. Okay, we take that result. Let epsilon be arbitrary. Okay, then by the definition of limit there exist natural numbers k1 k2 such that, actually here I get a natural number k such that mod of a to the 1 by n minus 1 less than epsilon, that is 1 minus epsilon less than 1 by a to the 1 by n less than 1 plus epsilon for all n greater equal to k. And since this is the limit of that sequence is 1, therefore here will be 1 minus epsilon a to the power minus 1 by n less than 1 plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k2. Okay, where k1 k2 are two natural numbers. If you take k as maximum of k1 and k2, then both the relation holds for all n greater than or equal to k. Okay, let k equal to max of k1 and k2, then both the relations holds for all n greater or equal to k. So in particular if you put n equal to k, then this relation also hold. So by putting n equal to k, we can write 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power 1 by k less than 1 plus epsilon, and here 1 minus epsilon a to the power minus 1 by k less than 1 plus epsilon. Okay, just here I put just n equal to 1, where k is maximum of k1 k2. I consider that as equation 1. I use that relation later. However, since limit x n equal to 0, for that positive quantity there exists a natural number m such that mod of xn minus 0 less than 1 by k for all n greater equal to k. Actually here we choose epsilon as 1 by k. In definition of limit, you know that you have to choose a positive quantity, arbitrary quantity epsilon. For the arbitrary quantity epsilon, you find a natural number n such that mod of xn minus l is less than epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. So here in particular we consider epsilon as 1 by k. You can choose epsilon as 1 by k because 1 by k is positive, since k is a natural number, that is positive integer. So by using the definition of limit and taking epsilon as 1 by k, we can write L minus epsilon less than x n less than L plus epsilon. Here L is 0 because limit of x n is 0 and epsilon is 1 by k. So minus 1 by k less than x n less than 1 by k for all n greater than or equal to m. Okay. Here given that a is positive, actually I prove the result at first taking a is greater than 1 and then taking a is less than 1, and at last we consider the case when a equal to 1. However, in case 1 we consider a is positive and as well as it is greater than 1. Since a is greater than 1, therefore if you take these as power of a, the inequality remains unchanged, that is a to the power minus 1 by k less than a to the power x n less than 1 by a to the power k. You know that when y equal to a to the power x n, a is positive, then the function is monotone increasing, and when a is less than 1, then this is monotone decreasing. I hope that you know the expression. Since this is monotone increasing function, you can check monotone increasing function by taking the definition of increasing function which is discussed in HS level. However, if you have some problem, you can comment in comment box or you can mail me. However, here since a is positive and minus 1 by k less than x n less than 1 by k, therefore this result hold. But when a is less than 1, then this will be reversed, that is when power increase, the output will be decreased when a is less than 1. But when a is greater than 1, when power increases, then output will be increases. Okay. Okay. Now here, now from 1, that is this is equation this. At first I write this expression 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power minus 1 by k. I write it at first and then I write this expression. Therefore this will be a to less than a to the power x n less than a to the power 1 by k. Again I take this expression. Therefore a to the power 1 by k less than epsilon less than 1 plus epsilon. This all the portion holds if n greater than or equal to k. Okay. I hope that you understand. At first I take this portion, this is number 1. Okay, so you get this portion, first portion, and in second portion, that is from that to that, I take this expression, that is this is second, and at last, that is from that to there. Okay, these whole things is arise from that relation, that is this is third inequality. Okay, so if I take, that is we can write minus 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power x n less than 1 plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. Okay. So I can so remember this expression I use later, or you can directly conclude that limit of a to the power x n is 1 when a is greater than 1. However, we consider in case 2, in case 2 we consider a is less than 1 but it is positive. So since a is less than 1, again from that expression, then a to the power minus k greater than a to the power x n greater than 1 to the power k. Since the inputs are increasing, so output must be decreasing since a is less than 1. Okay, that is I take it in reverse form, that is a to the power 1 by k less than a to the power x n less than a to the power minus 1 by k. Okay, as previous problem, at first I take this portion Okay, then from 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power k, and then you take this expression, therefore this is less than a to the power x and less than a to the power minus 1 by k, and at last you take that expression. So this will be 1 plus epsilon for all n greater or equal to m, because here n is greater than or equal to m. So you see that 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power x and less than 1 plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to k. Thus in both cases we show that when a is greater than 0 with a not equal to 1, from case 1 and case 2 we see that for every positive epsilon there exists a natural number m such that 1 minus epsilon less than a to the power x and less than 1 plus epsilon for all n greater than or equal to m. Therefore limit of a to the power x n equal to 1 if a is positive, but a is not equal to 1. Now what happens if a equal to 1? If a equal to 1, then the sequence, that is a to the power x n, is 1 1 1 1, because if you put a equal to 1, then this will be 1 for every n, which is a constant sequence converging to 1. So in that case limit of a to the power x n equal to 1 if a is 1. However, here you see that a is positive and a not equal to 1, but here a is equal to 1. So combining that two condition, you can conclude that if a is greater than 0, limit of a to the power x n equal to 1, hence the limit is proved. Okay. This was the problem, our problem. Now I give another problem in corollary, that is, so that if limit of x n equal to L and a is positive, then a to the power x n converges to a to the power L. Just difference between that two problems are, here the limit is 0 but here is L, and here limit will be a to the power L, but here a to the power L means a to the power 0, that is 1. So this is the generalization of that problem. Okay, for that purpose we consider yn as xn minus L. Then limit of yn must be 0, because since limit of xn equal to 0, therefore limit of yn must be 0. So if you use that problem, so you can write a to the power yn converts to 1. Using above result, limit a to the power yn equal to 1. Okay. Again a to the power yn means xn minus 1, just I put a to the power limit of a to the power x minus xn minus L. Again this is a to the power xn into a to the power minus L. Okay. So limit of some sequence in some constant, so you can take in front of limit a to the power minus L, that is a to the power minus L into limit of a to the power xn equal to 1. If you take a to the power minus L in right hand side, this will be a to the power L, therefore limit of a to the power xn must be a to the power L. Okay. So it is proved. Okay, in that case this is the generalization of the above theorem. Here in corollary we take a as e, since e is, you know that positive quantity value of e is 2.7 something. So limit of e to the power x and also e to the power L. Okay, I hope that you understand that theorem. In next video I derive some problems using Sandwich theorem and this problem also. Okay, I hope you will understand that video also. Anyway, thank you. Have a good day.